a buy
from the smoke spray, but not really going to be too much there. Allman forced back from the Molotov on B-App, so no control taken by Vici. Two players in connector. May get tested momentarily because just on the outside, Zoking, Advent, and Allman are making a move. And without anyone in window, they're going to be given free space to maybe go for some kind of a boost. What Zoking's doing right now, he's looking to try and boost over the smoke. The spray's good, and Get Right's been taken out. In the meanwhile, though, Get Right did take down Advent, who I believe was boosting Zoking. An even trade, spins around to Palace, damage done. What a shot that is into Zoking. And the bomb's been dropped as well. Rez goes in for a second. This passage of play is everything for Nip. A 2-on-4 now falls amongst Vici, and with that bomb currently where it is, it's hard to see how they get this done.
What a great sequence from Rez. Obviously a little bit too over-eager as Zoking. He didn't start the round with the bomb. He might not have realized he picked it up. The player that Get Right killed had it initially, and I think to make that play, he might have just accidentally stepped over it, but that is certainly a huge disaster. Allman must do it all. He must do it with low HP, and Rez is going to get a triple kill to secure NIP at 15th round. They can no longer lose in regulation, and just one more to get NIP to the next stage of the major. Another timeout for Vici.
I can see what they were going for, but it really was Rez that just shut things down, completely denying any kind of connector control. The good news, though, for Vici is because they were on a 3-round winning streak, they are going to have more than enough money to get another full buy.
The bad news for Vici is they haven't been able to take that B bomb site. That's where they lost the pistol round. That's where they lost that round 21. So, I mean, NIP realizes that. Probably feeling very confident in that B bomb site. That's why we see them taking mid, taking the A site. No more mistakes, though, for Vici. Everything they do from here on has to work. Players are performing well. I mean, Allman has 20 kills. Freeman has 20 kills. The only player that's beating them is Lekro with 23, but they're beating all the other NIP players. So some solid individual performances. And here we go, back to the B site.
Allman aggression. Gonna get burnt, but chooses the bullets instead. Wise choice probably, but Lekro's gonna go in for a second, and this could be it. This is the beginning of the end, potentially. They have forced back the push. Advent and Kaze think better of it. Freeman is going to get an entry on A, which is going to make things a little bit more interesting and tentative for Nip.
No, I mean, this is the play right here. Get Right getting in a position to just be the insurance policy. It's so powerful to have a CP control A ramp. He'll have a fight. And now, not only is there the insurance policy of Get Right there, but Dennis is waiting at A ramp. If Get Right goes down, Dennis can spin easily. How fast are Get Right's reactions? They're coming from above. He's not ready. He swings up. He is traded, but Kaze has to go quick, and he's never going to expect this. There's an easy kill. There's a free kill. There's the bomb, and that might just be the deciding factor for NIP. 15-10, Advent in a 1-on-3.
Has 40 seconds to try and save the Asian team. First spray's not on point, and Lekro will get Nip to the next stage of the major as they win 16-10.
It was close. A third map. Not a lot expected that, but you had inspired performances out of the two mainstays of this NIP roster. Get Right and Forest were both phenomenal in the series. Lekro stepped up on this third map when needed. Dennis stepped up on this third map when needed. And NIP is going to move on. A tough and grueling series, a tough and grueling challenger stage for the Ninjas. But they do survive. We've got the boys at the desk to talk us through it and what's next for the Ninjas.
Forced to play every single game to secure their spot in the Legends stage, but they do thrive. Every single map, of course, versus Vici, Furia, Vega Squadron, and Vici Gaming, the opponent's NIP best to secure a spot in the Legends stage. A lot of people are going to be saying that they haven't worked hard enough, and we'll be finding out exactly how hard they have to work in the stage following this one next week, of course. Vici Gaming pushing them all the way. I'm joined by Pimp and Sean Gares to talk about it as the handshakes come in. Jacob, a moment of reflection on the series. What do you say about that one?
I think NIP played well. I think it was good to see Lekro finally coming alive. We talked about him in the pregame not having the best tournament so far. He's been a little bit absent. When you look at his counterpart on VICI Gaming, Advent, he had a very poor series. Again, not pointing any fingers here, but he was simply not showing up to the same level as Lekro were. So overall, I think we got the best team going through, and I think NIP can be, for the first time in this tournament, they can be proud of what they showcased today. Yeah. By no means is VICI a bad team.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. NIP actually looked like a solid team throughout this series. They played well on Train. I thought personally they played really well on Inferno, and both pistols lost. They just couldn't get anything going. Here on Mirage, the economy was really tough to them, and that's why they couldn't really string together those rounds on CT side, but they've hunkered down and got those last 2 consecutive rounds to close out the game.
Yeah, we have replays, of course, of that game. We get to see some of those individual plays. Despite this being the series totals, I actually think that Lekro really redeemed himself over on this final map. I mean, he was exceptional. Admittedly, he was saving the day with some of his deagle frags the map prior, but I think this was exactly what the NIP boys ordered. It wasn't just Forest. Rez was there, but so was Lekro. You've been asking for that all week long.
He was posting 100 or 98 ADR throughout this game, and as an in-game leader for a team like NIP, where you need to micromanage a lot of these players, it's a very impressive scoreline to put up. That said, though, if we have to point fingers and have to look a little bit critical on NIP, Danish once again not having the best series overall. And when they go into the next stage and they're going to face teams like XIII, they're going to face MIBR, Liquid, you need Danish to show up much better than he has in this stage of the major.
Yeah, I think the most important thing to take away from Lekro's game, who obviously was the star player for NIP here, is the game he called as an in-game leader. I thought he did an excellent job mixing up the A and B hits. NIP didn't really have much success in mid, so they strayed away from that. But their bomb site hits were phenomenal throughout this game.
T-sides without mid-control work. I mean, I guess that's something for me to learn as well. But yes, I mean, we get to see the Ninjas in Pajamas, that very convincing T-side, kind of locked them in for the eventuality that was the second half. Of course, winning pistol rounds when Dennis is hitting his USP shots is always a little extra bonus as well on those retakes. But as we take a moment now, we're going to review another team biting the dust. Now, Team Spirit, Greyhound, Furia, Vega, Fnatic, and now we wave goodbye to another one in the form of VICI Gaming. I feel like we've learned an awful lot about them. I'll be talking all about it with these guys, but first, we do have an opportunity to speak to often the man who wears his heart most commonly on his sleeve, Get Right, who secured a spot in the next stage of competition.
Last time I spoke to this gentleman, Get Right, there were mixed emotions, but how are the emotions now? They're out the window.
I don't really have words, to be honest. I'm just happy we're through. Yeah, I don't know.
The thing that we were all saying, though, upstairs is this is the return of old school Get Right. How did you bring him back to that server?
I don't know. I'm very sorry that I was the worst one to pick out for interview, but I'm too worse.
Hang on a second. Hang on. This is going out the window. Let me drop this. You were not the worst one to be in the interview. I'm so excited to talk to you because you turned it out when it mattered most, right? This was the game that you had to be the best you could be, and today you were Get Right.
Well, yeah. I feel happy. For me, it doesn't really matter if I kill a lot of people or something like that. I just care if I get around or make something like an ego boost to the other teammates or something like that. So I've after the pistol round burst, which was ridiculous.
On 8 HP.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I felt that Forest got even more pumped up and Lekro showed up even more big time as T. So I'm just super happy to get back into the next stage. And now we just have to go a little bit extra, but me personally have to go back and play more because I'm not satisfied personally, but I'm happy that we won. And that's the most important thing. And if we win, then I'm more happy than ever because I don't care about my individual in the end, because if we win, then I'm going to be the most happiest person in the world. So I'm very happy right now.
I know you've got tons of fans in Poland who can't wait to see you playing in Legends next week. So, guys, you've got so much to look forward to from NIP. Let's head back to the desk.
Yes, it's a great point as well Frankie's making. There is going to be a crowd for the next stage of competition, then the big one, of course, for the champion stage following that one. Get Right unsatisfied with his own performance. I'm just going to throw that little nugget into the lion's den before we take our break. Jacob, I mean, he's no stranger to being self-critical, and I think NIP do have a lot to reflect on. If you were in the NIP camp, what advice are you two going to be giving and focusing on with your time off before this stage and the next?
I mean, seeing them play yesterday and see the frustration coming out of them when they were getting into pressured situations was definitely part of the problem I felt for NIP. The composure right now of the team is definitely not where they want to be. That said, though, I don't feel GetRight has to be the player he's known to be. I think he's moved into another role in this team. Yes. He's taking a lot of that experience he has, and he doesn't make any mistakes. He's not a liability for them by any means. I feel if anyone, it has to be Dennis who needs to step it up a notch for NIP to be competitive against the Faces and the Astralis.
Yeah, he actually had a 1.13 rating throughout this series. He played a really good game, and that pistol round was very crucial.
More bursting Glocks.
Yes, that was insane.
What happened here? I mean, maybe we're going to be seeing more from it in the next stages. They know something we don't. All I know is we're going to be taking a break. But when we do come back, there is more Counter-Strike to be had. G2 taking on Tyloo. Winner stays on. Join us after the break.
Think you can't capture a clutch in full resolution while streaming the play to the world? Watch this. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Prepare for combat. Go forth and conquer.